Eydelshteyn. As Anora, I'm sorry, as her character likes to prefer to be called Annie, Mikey Madison. And, ladies and gentlemen, the writer and director of Anora, Mr. Shum. So tell us about how this came to you. You had mentioned you had one of your collaborators who was encouraging you. You've got to set something in Coney Island, in the Russian community of Coney Island.
Well, there is an actor in the film, Karan Karagolian, who plays Toros, who isn't here with us today, but says hello. I've worked with him on all of my films, and he's Armenian-American, married to a Russian-American who's lived in that area since coming over from Armenia in 1990, had a lot of connections, and we thought someday we're going to tell a story in this neighborhood, in this community. It just took 15, 17 years to get there. So after my previous film, Red Rocket, there was a moment, there was that just eureka moment. There was that day that we said, well, how about if this young sex worker marries the son of a Russian oligarch? And it was at that moment that we were taking off.
And then tell us about finding these brilliant actors.
Yes, they are brilliant. So I first saw Mikey in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought that she stole the last 15 minutes of the film, and I was so intrigued. And as somebody who casts my own films, I just kept her on a file in the back of my head as somebody I may work with someday. As we were moving forward with Anora, and I knew I had to find my Annie, we happened to go to Scream opening weekend, and I saw Mikey as Ghostface Killer. Sorry for the spoiler. And it was in that moment. It was a combination of those two performances. I turned to my wife and producer Samantha Kwan, and I said, "We're calling her agent the second we step out of the theater." And we knew it at that moment. So we just offered Mikey the role and went from there. And then Mark, I can let you tell the story, but basically he came to the table through your Borisov, who plays Igor, the guy you just saw in that clip. He suggested Mark.
Yeah, and I'm very grateful to Yura. Yeah, and he asked me, "Do you know who is Sean Baker?" And I said, honestly, no. Who is Sean Baker? And he said, "How you don't know? It's the most amazing independent American independent director." I said, okay, relax, man. Okay, will you do self-tapes? You asked me, and I said, of course. And then Anora team sent me these sites. It was seen after sex scene between Ivan and Anora. And I was just, how I will do it, because it's fully on English. Yes, and I just lose, all deadlines. Deadlines, yeah. I lose them. Yeah, and then our producer Samantha, asked me, "Will you do the self-tape? We are waiting for you. Don't you mind to, try yourself in like Ivan?" And said, yes, of course. I had lots of deals, and I did nothing the whole week. I just, sit against the sites and how I will learn it by heart. Yes, and I just, did half of English, half of Russian. I jumped because it was really stressful and I haven't learned it by heart. And I smoked a cigarette, and when I did the puff, I thought, okay, and next line is, okay, I know. Yes, I just took the time with the cigarette, yes. And I did the same with the vape. Not the same, I already learned everything by heart. Yeah, and what else I have to say? Thank you.
Self-tape in the nude.
Yeah.
The craziest self-tape I ever received, but it also got the role.
But why? Why? I know that it's very risky in Hollywood to send nude selfies. It's risky to show them, yeah. But I thought, it's Ivan. Who is Ivan? It's a rich guy with a very expensive clothes, and I realized that I have no expensive clothes at all, so I made the decision that I would be nude. Honest to this story, yeah. It was like that.
Annie is a spitfire. Tell us about what you love about her, how you found her, and she's quite the art.
Yes, I'm so grateful that Sean cast me in this role. I didn't even have to do a naked self-tape. He just gave it to me, and I'm so grateful. Yeah, so my character, she is a spitfire, like you said. She's a fighter in so many different ways. I think she's a very hopeful person as well, and so there was quite a bit of preparation I needed to do to start to understand who she is, because she's someone who felt so different from me. And so I was really overwhelmed in the beginning of like, how am I going to get close to this person? So I would just start small, doing little preparations here and there, the language, the dialect, the physical preparation, and eventually it all came together.
She's being very humble. Months of pole dancing lessons, working with a dialect coach, and working very closely with our sex worker consultants to really understand the character of Annie. I've never worked with an actor so dedicated in the prep for a role. It's incredible.
What does the film mean to you?
Well, personally, it means everything to me, which I know is not exactly what you're asking, but making this film genuinely changed my life in so many different ways. It's one of the most special things that's ever happened to me. But what it means to me in the sense of the film and its themes, I think that it could mean something different to everybody. But as the actress who played Annie, it's meaningful to me to play a character like her and to learn about the sex work community, to play someone who has such an incredible fighting spirit. Like I said, I think she's just a wonderful, complicated human, and to play a character like that, that kind of character doesn't come along often, so I definitely recognized how lucky I am to have played her. So it means everything.
For all of you, I mean, especially as we've seen in the clip, talk about the comedic timing. I mean, was it a lot of takes? It's an independent film.
Yeah.
Does everyone have to hit their marks in like 2 takes?
No. Thank God I was able to, with this film, use my extra budget to buy more time, because I really wanted to, being able to work with these incredible actors, and they all have the skill of, comedic timing, wonderful comedic timing that I just took advantage of. I this film could be seen as ultimately a tragic drama, but I've tried to inject humor throughout the entire film. It was very important for me to have that balance, because, life is a balance of comedy and pathos. And if you are leaving one of those 2 things out when you're making a film about life, you're not being truthful. So I really, it was, the comedy was there in the script, but it was enhanced by these incredible performances.
And can I add a little bit? And not me, I think, and Mikey and Yura and everybody from our movie are very grateful to Sean, because we every time had a lot of space to try something. When you are, asking Sean, maybe, don't you mind if I will try to do a flip when I nude? What do you think about it? Any another director will say, "I crazy, Mari. Go back to your country, okay? And I'm a director, okay, man?" And Sean says, "What? Flip? Yes, of course, let's do it." And it's a time, and thank you, Sean, for it. It's very important, really.
I want to talk about, this is a theatrical film, and that is very important to you, and Let's talk.
It is, because, I feel that there aren't, I don't know what's going on here.
Thank you. I look better in the shadow. Thank you.
It is important, but I don't feel that right now we're getting a lot of dramas or dramedies made for adults, making in theaters, and I think that I would like to see a return to that, and you guys obviously do as well. So we shot this film for the big screen. We shot it on 35 millimeter, anamorphic 30, and so our presentation is intended for something like a theater like this, and we hope that audiences, it seems like they're excited about seeing this film in theaters, which is wonderful.
Tell us about, you gotta love Ivan. We all have to love Ivan before we hate him. Tell us about that in terms of the arc with your character.
Thank you for this question. It was a big challenge for me because it's first time when I played antagonist. Yes, and we discussed it with Shum a lot. Because usually I'm playing, romantic guys with the curly hairs, like in the first act, like in this, Cinderella fairy tale. Yeah, and we discussed with Shum pain of Ivan, his, deeply lonely character. Yes, and we discussed his dream. And for now, right now, for me, it's I'm shocked because people are writing me on Instagram that you are asshole, not are you asshole, without question, you are asshole, you are a douchebag. Yes, what we did with our lovely Anora. No, we are in the team of Eager, yes. And I don't know what I'm thinking about it. I'm very grateful for all the audience, and I want people to watch Anora in theaters, yeah, but a little bit, be easier, please. It's just, later. Yeah, and okay, Anora in theaters, I hope you'll watch it.
Yeah, I just want to add that, we wanted the character of Ivan to betray the audience, just like he's betraying Annie, and that was only possible through Mark essentially giving this incredibly charming performance for the first 45 minutes of the film, so that we don't see that coming. So, again, thank you, Mark.
Mikey, was there a challenging scene for the two of you?
Challenging scenes. I think that a majority of the scenes between Annie and Yvonne are so much fun. You get to see Annie having an amazing time and sort of falling for this guy. And so I always recognized that those scenes were kind of a treat for me because I just got to laugh and enjoy and be in the moment. And so I think the difficult scenes maybe are the ones where her heart's being broken or she's fighting for something that she knows really isn't going to go her way. But I don't know, were there any difficult scenes to shoot with me?
No, of course, no. I just wanna, it's a 000 here, excuse me. I just wanna say that it's a big luck and miracle to be in one, frame, in one movie with you, and it's a big pleasure just to play with you in one scenes and in one story, yeah. Thank you.
This is Anora. Ladies and gentlemen, Shum Baker, Eydelshteyn, Mikey Madison. Next up, we'll be hearing from Pete Hammond and a panel from Territory Pictures with Horizon in American Saga, Chapter 1.